The Southern Coalition for Social Justice, or SCSJ, was created to partner with communities of color and economically disadvantaged communities in the southern United States who are engaged in social justice advocacy. In 2007, a group of lawyers, social scientists, and community organizers, frustrated by the lack of quality legal representation available to community-based organizations, came together to build a new type of community lawyering organization. These advocates, largely people of color, saw the need for a community-centered approach to addressing modern-day civil rights and human rights issues that would focus on the South. As a region, the South is under-resourced in every area, including social justice advocacy. Despite its strong tradition of locally led activism, the legal resources available to communities in the South are very meager. SCSJ is committed to multi-issue, multidisciplinary approaches to addressing racial inequities and human rights violations at the local level. SCSJ seeks to deepen democratic participation in the South, working in coalition with local, regional, national, and international social justice and human rights organizations. When our work is successful, communities realize their own goals and people know from experience that they can make a difference on issues that matter to them. To reach these goals, we combine the power of community organizing, media strategy, social science research, and litigation. Every community's needs are different, so every case has a unique strategy. Having all of these tools available in one place allows SCSJ to meet the needs of a diverse range of communities. SCSJ has two major leverage points that make us uniquely qualified to do social justice work. The first is our commitment to being community-driven. We tailor our work to the needs and desires of the community seeking our services. Rather than telling a community how to proceed, we ask them what their goals are and collaboratively devise a plan to reach those goals. Then we provide the tools and resources necessary to bring the community's plans to fruition. We do this with our second leverage point, which is the breadth of services we are able to offer. From top-notch litigators to policy analysts and researchers to community organizers, SCSJ has the tools to execute a wide variety of social justice initiatives tailored to the needs of each client. Using a variety of tactics and expertise has made us effective and agile. We are a virtual one-stop shop for communities who need support in their advocacy. The ability to call upon a geographic information systems mapper, a community organizer, or an expert on criminal defense at any time means that we have ready access to the tools required to meet a wide variety of community needs. We are also successful because we see our myriad issues through the lens of systemic oppression. Seeing the connections among different issues allows us to move strategies from one area to another and to link one community's issues to another's to form a stronger coalition. We measure our success by how client communities reach their goals. If a Black community is able to fend off the threat of a landfill in their neighborhood, that's a success. We also measure success by how often we are invited into communities. Many civil rights groups operate on the national level and choose to come into particular communities to fix a problem. The Southern Coalition for Social Justice, on the other hand, develops long-term partnerships with communities because we are seen as augmenting community strengths rather than overpowering them. Other success metrics include employee longevity and satisfaction, as well as ongoing relationships with partner organizations. Many people think that SCSJ is a North Carolina-specific organization, but that isn't true. We are involved in matters throughout the South. Our ever-expanding scope extends from Texas to Virginia to Florida. We see important commonalities in the challenges faced by Southern communities and seek to fill the resource gap throughout this region. Since opening our doors to the public in 2008, the Southern Coalition for Social Justice has been invited to 10 Southern states to participate in voting rights work. This level of involvement over such a short period of time is a major accomplishment. From community engagement efforts, to representing individual clients denied the right to vote, to significant federal court litigation on the Voting Rights Act, SCSJ has developed a reputation as a major player in the voting rights arena, ensuring that every voter can cast a vote and that every vote counts equally. Our specific community-based advocacy work is sadly underfunded and, in many cases, strongly counterfunded. We must diversify our funding sources to survive as an organization. Client need is escalating, and our opponents continue to enact regressive policies that we must fight. This is why it's so important for each and every one of us to donate to social justice groups like SCSJ. Without individual donations, none of our work will be sustainable in the long term. Our vision is to ultimately have offices in several Southern states. The closer we are to the communities we represent, the better we can understand their needs and locally tailor advocacy strategies for systemic change. We want to open an office in Atlanta as soon as possible to enhance our reach in the South. In addition, we need to build our capacity to assist grassroots organizations with the nuts and bolts of good organizing. Currently, we have just one organizer on staff and need to add organizers in each of our major program areas. Finally, due to funding constraints, we cut staff for our immigrant justice program. With more resources, we could fill the vacant position for an immigration attorney and achieve stronger results in advocating for the just treatment of undocumented immigrants. SCSJ is committed to providing assistance to communities facing all types of discrimination. With adequate resources, we could make deeper commitments to the groups we work with. Many communities form a bond with SCSJ staff over one issue and want to continue to collaborate. With the funding to provide follow-up services, we could capitalize on these existing relationships to help safeguard the gains the communities have made and address new issues that arise. For example, we recently helped a predominantly African American community fight the siting of a waste treatment facility in their neighborhood. With additional funding, we could stay engaged with this community and help them protect the value of their homes through services such as creating wills, seeking community development block grant funds, and advocacy to improve local schools. With the funding to provide ongoing services, we could be part of a long-term solution rather than a one-time support. Since our goal is ultimately to erase systemic oppression, this ongoing relationship would allow us to more effectively and comprehensively empower communities engaged in social justice advocacy.